Tremendous. So this is from my next book, it's out next year, and this poem is called It Serves Me Right to Suffer. There's an epigraph by Vasco Popa, which is Duck, she waddles through the dust in which no fish are smiling. From the trouble of the world comes melting seas which form land, from which plants grow, and so I turn, supergrass, sleeping curled, legs broken, in a cell, calling for water, retracting my politics to eat in various houses of disaster. In the hours of troubled memory before I fall asleep, I remember all those cruel comments online and the smiling fish I ate willingly, descaling their backs as though I were unwrapping a present. You're too kind. Thank you so much. I am showered with applause. One more poem and then I'll shut up. This poem's called We Both Know You're Interested. And there's an epigraph by Aimé Césaire, which is, in which pushing aside the finest grass of the fog, you stroll quite clear, joining hands. Every time we visit a little village, a brown energy, it has to be said, let's move here. Testicles ache in country like an elephant graveyard, a freedom which makes one unhappy to speculate. Working into a frenzy in the forgotten pubs of a city that's new to those who have recently arrived. But having lived here in the city, I can tell you no one really lives in the village. And speaking of the old days, the village was immediately underground. It's where the peasant revolt started after all. But what do you know of that? Memory like a river. The hog, his dog, old and feeble, is like a famine among young people. And I've decided I'm in between you, breaking up the fight. To watch on as others consent to their opinions with the dignity so unnatural to the opinionated. Thank you.
You were involved in something called the Enemies Project, which is a collaborative. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? It sounds fascinating.
It would be a great pleasure. Thank you so much for asking. The Enemies Project is my project about encouraging collaboration in poetry. Most art forms have had collaboration in their essence, theatre, music. Poets almost never come together because of a problem with the solitary mode of the poet receiving inspiration from above, which I think is nonsense. So I encourage poets to collaborate, and I do this to create bonds of communities across nations. So with the Enemies Project, we've been to 23 countries, doing tours and getting poets from different nations and different languages to work together and build work together so they become friendly and the world is better.
Wonderful. So, making the world a better place one poet at a time.
Because poetry is so irrelevant and no one cares about it, it's only a tiny thing, but it's better than nothing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, on that note,